So next on our list, we're going to talk about Reflection St. Pete, which is 18 stories, 88 units, and it's consisting of 1s all the way up to 3 2s, and there's no penthouse floor plans.
What'd you give it for location, Sean?
For location, I gave it a 7.
Okay.
And I gave it a 7 because it's kind of off the beaten path, right? It's not really technically close to Central Avenue, which, you know, I think there can be some people that like that and there's some people that don't like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there can be a buyer that definitely wants to be a little bit further away, and the views from it are incredible. So it's got great views, it's just not right by the water, but I do think there's other things to explore too on just the other side of the highway where you have, you know, a little commercial space over there too. But I gave it a 7.5.
Okay, I gave it a 7.5 too. Did you give it a 7 or did you give it a 7.5?
7.5.
7.5, final answer.
7.5. Final.
I gave it a 7.5 as well. Excellent view. Like, I think that balcony view, looking out over Mirror Lake and 400 Central and stuff, is one of the best skyline views, especially at nighttime.
And it's probably going to be a better one as the city grows too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be more buildings to look at, more, you know, and that's one of those things that people don't really think about with condos. Everyone's like, oh, I want to see the water, I want to see all that. It's like that nighttime view with all the lights and everything, that is something that's special.
You're right.
You know?
Yeah, and Reflection, you can see the water and all the buildings
and
Mirror Lake too.
So.
Right. And there's also not a lot of traffic around that roundabout and stuff, so I kind of like that once you do get home, you know, it's kind of a little bit quieter area in terms of traffic. Yeah, going for a walk, you're not going to get interrupted by cars and mayhem and stuff. Also, the ease to hop on 275 is so simple there on 8.
I think I would give the location, I would give it an 8.
Okay.
Just because I feel like you said, I think that the night view is great. It's quiet. You can walk around Mirror Lake. If you want to go downtown, you can go downtown. You know, you're not too far away, but you're also close to like the hospital, Tropicana Field. You can get on 275.
Edge District's right there.
Edge District. You've got a nice little park, a couple parks over there. You've got.
Yeah, that's one thing that area does have is more green space then. You know, you think about 400 Central or Art House, you know, you're walking a little bit further for the green space, you know, that's interesting.
Definitely. Yeah, for having a dog, it's a better dog walking area.
Yeah, it really is. You just take the dog around the lake. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Calmer.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, Samantha, we'll start with you on the next category then. Construction build quality. What'd you give it for that?
I would give it an 8. Because I do like the rooftop pool terrace area, like the little cocktail bar they have up there. I think that's a nice touch. And you have a great view. It is quieter. You're not going to have like the art house deal where, you know, there are amenity decks on the 9th floor where you could potentially have noise. I do like the floor plans. I think they're nice. And I do like how they have floor-to-ceiling windows. I don't necessarily love like the kitchen, the way the kitchens are laid out, and like the coloring that they chose, but I think overall, nice building.
Yeah, good critique. I think that this is the best amenities center of any of the luxury new construction condos. Part of that is the fact that only 88 units are sharing these amenities, and that automatically is going to make it more usable. Every time that I've been in the building, the pool and the workout room, there's like 1 or 2 people in there. These 400 Central with 301 units, Art House with over 240 units sharing these tiny little amenities. I think that gives an edge to Reflection big time, but then also the fact that the HOA dues for the shared spaces are lower. Now I get that the purchase prices are also lower, so maybe it's a little bit more direct, but still, also the fact that it's on the 18th floor and you're getting these sweet views, whereas like we said, 400 Central, it's on a low floor, Art House, it's on the 9th floor. I just think that 19th or 18th floor view really makes these units spectacular. And then there's also a really nice like entertainment area in their amenities that I think would be very usable. And again, a lot of that has to do with the fact that there's just way less condo owners sharing these spaces. Then in terms of the interior design, I agree. I'm not a huge fan of the interior design. They went too modern. I love modern, but this is too modern. And it loses some of its coziness because of that. But the balconies, I must say, are phenomenal, and they're separated completely from the units around them. They're concrete. It's some of the best balconies of any of these buildings. But then one other critique here before I allow you to review it is I'm disappointed that most of the master bedrooms and just almost all of the bedrooms in total, definitely most of the secondary bedrooms, only have one floor-to-ceiling window. There was only 2 floor plans that had these really nice natural lighting situations. The other ones only had a sliver of natural light. I think that it really drops the ball on that. While the living rooms have so much natural light, beautiful, the bedroom sometimes got the afterthought of just one small narrow window.
Yeah, okay, I could see that.
True.
What'd you give it, Sean?
So for construction, build quality, I gave it an 8.5.
Pretty high.
Yeah, very high. I think the amenity deck kind of sold me on that. The amenities I don't know, I just feel like that's another thing you could show off to someone, right? You come up, you have everybody come here, he's like, oh, nice place. And yeah, come up to the amenity deck. You know, like, I don't know, like seeing that pool and everything else during the summer, I mean, that'd be great, you know, jumping in that. I do feel like the floor plans were actually, in regards to a build quality, I felt like they were kind of well thought of, just because even with the way you were talking about the natural light in the bedrooms, right? I'd rather have the natural light in the living room, regardless than the bedrooms, right?
Totally.
And it did feel like they were somewhat intentional with the floor plan. I just don't think I liked some of the quality finishes they had. It made me, like you said it before, you said Miami modern apartment, and I'm like, yeah god damn, you've seen those way too many, you know. But then I was like gonna even talk more about that, but then I started looking at this resale one from 2025, and they kind of changed it around, and it looks really nice, you know. It's like without that Miami too many colors, you know. It just, I don't know, I looked at the resale one and I'm like, oh wow, that looks great compared to, like, you know, one that was new. So I think it's a great building. I think I gave it an 8.5. It's just kind of off the beaten path a little bit, which I'm starting to, even more we talk about it, I'm like, kind of like that. You know? Interestingly enough, you know, I was like, at first I was going to be like, oh, it's too far away, but kind of want it to be now. It's kind of nice. It's kind of, you know, and then that view, you can't, you know, you're not going to have that view anywhere else, you know. I mean, with the lake and downtown and the water, I mean, you can't beat it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, 8.5.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to value. I'll start off by just giving a little bit of price info here. The average sold in this building has been $1.153 million, and this is just what's been in the MLS, so we don't know 100% of what was bought from the builder. But then that gives us a price per square foot of $623, which it's awesome to see that statistic and compare it to Art House and Porter Central, because both of those buildings are in the 800s for average price per square foot. So this is definitely a better deal than Art House and Porter Central in terms of pricing outside looking in, not necessarily what they're offering. But 16 units in this building, in Reflection, have sold for under $1 million.
Wow.
And the lowest price unit sold for $699K, and that was on the 9th floor. And the most expensive unit that has sold in the MLS is $1.92 million, which was a 2,300 square foot.
Okay.
So all in all, that really comes out to significantly less expensive than Art House and 400 Central. But there is a value difference between that. So, all right, we'll go ahead. What would you rate it for value, Sammy?
I would give it a 8 again, just because I think that the floor plans are great. I think the building is great for what it is. The location is growing on me. I wasn't too fond of it before, but I think that, you know, for somebody that has the lifestyle where they want it to be a little slower paced, and maybe they work from home and they don't want that nightlife going on, I think that's a great option. Plus, it's a little bit more affordable. I think a plus.
While still getting the amenities.
Yeah, and you're getting, if not better, amenities, you know, on rooftop pool, cocktail bar, you know, fire pits, great view. Yeah, I think an 8 would justify it, in my opinion.
Yeah, in this building, I forgot to mention this earlier, actually every unit gets 2 parking spots in the garage.
Okay now.
Which is a step up from the
That's
other
actually a
buildings.
really big deal.
Yeah. Which further just drives that point of less people in the building, which makes the amenities go a lot further.
Yeah.
I gave it an 8.5 overall for value for all those reasons that we just discussed.
Yeah.
What did you give it?
I actually brought it up to an 8.5 too.
Wow.
I was hesitant for a minute, but the more we kept talking about it, the more I'm like, I kind of want to be over in this spot. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Especially
even
the price.
watching downtown grow, I mean, like, you got a front row seat right there from your pool.
Yeah.
Like,
And like you said, if you wanted to like get rid of the like contrasting Miami apartment coloring that they have in there, you could, you know, fix up the kitchen a little bit, change the cabinets out, and then make it your own.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, overall, we gave it an 8.06. Very close to Art House, slightly below on the project. Do you think that that's fair? Do you think that this project really hits the mark? And should it be higher than Art House potentially?
I think it's priced right now. I think where it is in this location, I think unfortunately it's just not it. I think Art House and 400 Central kind of took away from it, right? I mean, because those were the big ones that were going on. So this one kind of snuck through halfway, you know, through. And I mean, for us even doing the review, it surprised us, right? I mean, we kind of looking at comparing it to both of those. It's like, I just think it's the right value for what it is and where it is.
Yeah.
You know?
I think I definitely came into it having, you know, my thoughts about Reflection, having gone and seen it a year ago or more now. But comparing it to the other two, I think there are a lot of positives. It's a different lifestyle for somebody, but I think it's great. The location's great. And the floor plans are not bad. I really enjoy the amenities, and I think the amenities are better, almost better than Art House.
Yeah. I would have liked to have seen this score higher than Art House overall, just because of its uniqueness. This offers a product that there's not much else competition for. In fact, there's only 88 units, so there's not much competition against itself when they're trying to sell these units. And we gave 400 Central such a high rating on uniqueness, and we really held Art House's rating back because of lack of uniqueness.
But I think there was uniqueness too, and like for instance, this building, I wouldn't describe it as super unique in that sense. It's still just you know, it's not like one of those shapes, like, I don't know, whenever you see like Signature, you're like, oh wow, what? Like, I remember when they first built that, we were just like, holy cow, guys, you know, and like, and even 400 Central for that reason too. It's, you know. Yeah.
No, that's true. The construction isn't necessarily unique.
It's something
the
more
product.
I think it's a great product, and I think it's unique for that location, and I think it's a great little boutique condominium. Honestly, it's a location we really never thought of high rises being, right? I mean, this wasn't really like, I mean, you see all the townhomes around them, you know, it wasn't really thought of except for the apartment across the way, and then sure enough, you know, now it is. So
I think it might hold some resale value too,
I think so
just because there's less units. Like if you went to Art House, you know, there's 200 something units, and how many of the same floor plan with the same view are there? So you can be like, oh well, I've got 3 options now. You know, whereas Reflection, you don't have many.
No, that's for sure.
And even seeing the price difference between Art House and 400 Central, you can see that each block close to the water is going to get more and more expensive. So being this far back from the water allows them to price it in a way where it really is a different customer than 400 Central.
Well, they probably got the land too for a lot less too, right? You got to think about
Correct.
that. That factored into it too.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't think people consider, and like, you know, you see people like talking about stuff in comments about how, just another bullshit building. You know, the costs that go into making these things are insane. Like, it is just, it's still a little unfathomable to me, you know? Like, it's like, holy cow. So, you know, you got to make sure they're perfect. You got to make sure, you know, everything's going to go to plan and everything. So, it's just, I think this is I think what this building showed is that towers can be built over here, and they can be a success. You know, I think that was a test that this one had to prove more than anything, and it worked. It worked. You know.
When I initially saw this building in person, my first thought was, this is definitely someone commuting to Tampa or like a pilot that commutes to the airports, because the easy access onto I-75 or 275.
Yeah, 275.
Amazing. I mean, it's right there, straight out of the parking garage, straight onto the ramp onto the interstate. It doesn't get any easier than that. That's even easier than 400 Central hopping onto 175.
For sure. I just think about like 400 Central and Art House being off of Central Ave. It's like, it takes a minute to get to get anywhere.
Yeah, it's
especially when it's
adding
busy.
5 minutes to your drive.
And so, I was surprised by this one. I really was. So.